Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Hope you guys are doing great out there. Yeah, this video here is going to be a little bit different. This is going to be a real short, I'll try and keep it short, intro video to my Ren Money Game reaction video that actually I shot 7 days ago, right? So, yeah, last weekend, early in the morning, woke up and I decided to go ahead and shoot Money Game because you guys told me there was a trilogy out there. That'd be a good next place to go. So I did it. And you know, a lot of those lyrics, man, they were touching on some hot topics. And you're going to find out with me if you continue to watch me. And if you do, I appreciate it. But if you continue to watch me, I'm going to speak my mind, right? I'm going to, I'm going to speak out what my opinion is, what my viewpoint is, you know, what my experience has been. And that's one of the main reasons for my channel that I started it, right? Number one was I'm a Christian. And I'm strong in my faith and I'm on my journey coming from a really dark place. And I'm going to try and spread a little bit of the gospel here and a little bit of the word. That's why at the end of my videos, I share a piece of scripture. Number two was for me to speak my mind and push back on some of the crazy that I think's out there and just some of the propaganda and just things that are being pushed that I think are totally false. And do I expect everybody to agree with me? Obviously not. That's why I'm going to push back on it, right? Because there are people with opposing opinions, but I think they're way too loud sometimes. And people like me, as I've expressed in other videos, we don't speak out enough, right? So that's one of the main intentions of this channel is to push back. You know, and then third would be, hey man, I want to have some fun doing it. I appreciate interfacing with you guys. I'm experiencing great music that I hadn't been experienced to before, and I want to have some fun, you know what I mean? Not everything in life is so serious, but some stuff is. Okay, so I opened up with these comments because last week I shot that Money Game reaction and it touched on some hot topics, man. It touched on immigration. He was singing about different religions, opposing religions, I guess, to each other. Some historical events that maybe categorize or continue to shed a certain group of people in a certain way. So, you know, in true fashion, you know, I'm going to speak out, you know, and I'm going to give you my take. That's what I have to offer in a reaction video. I mean, that's really it, right? That's the point of a reaction video, is to speak my viewpoint. Now, do I expect you guys to agree with that? No, I don't, you know. But what I was confronted with after I posted that video, and I mean, I went on some rants now, and I gave you what my feelings were, okay, and what my beliefs were, and what I think is right and what I think is wrong. And there's a good portion of you guys that follow Ren that are opposed to my viewpoints, and I'm okay with that. But several of you guys are really obviously triggered by Christianity, Jews, the Jewish faith, and just different viewpoints that I have, right? I mean, really triggered by them. And I got some really nasty, negative, anti-Christian, questioning my Christianity. How could you make these comments? Is that what Jesus said? That's not what Jesus said. I don't, you know. Anyway, accusing me all kinds of stuff. And just, I wouldn't say it was an overwhelming amount of it, but it was enough that I was just totally turned off, man. I was turned off. And I just didn't want to be subjected to it at that time. You know what I mean? I just didn't need that in my life. You know, I'm not doing this to just receive a ton of negative energy. So at that point, I'm like, man, I don't need this. I don't need to keep getting these comments. This group of people don't know if I really even want to be reacting, you know, if it's going to be like this. So I pulled the video down. You know, a few of you asked me why, and I responded to you and said, hey, what I just said. And some of my stuff's taken out of context because some of the people that disagree with it, they're not open-minded. They're not listening. They hear what they want to hear, and they just make nasty, vile comments to me. You know, but as the week went on, this week I thought to myself, you know, what are you doing, Chad? You know, again, a big part of why I started this channel is to push back on what I think is some of the crazy. So in a way, by pulling that video down, I sold myself out, you know, because I got some pushback and some nastiness. And it just affected me, and I need to be more thick-skinned, you know. If you're going to push back on people, you got to be more thick-skinned. So anyway, I decided now to go ahead and I'm going to post that video. All right. So I'm putting it out there. After I put out Money Game, this reaction here, once you see it, immediately behind it's going to be Money Game 2, because Money Game 2, I filmed it right that evening of the same day last weekend after I did Money Game. So when you watch Money Game 2, you're going to see some comments in the beginning of it, kind of reflecting on some of what I just talked about, right? Some of the reactions I got. But I did try and find some middle ground with some of my comments opening up on Money Game 2 with you guys. At least I'm trying, right? So anyway, I'm almost done with this statement. I guess maybe the last thing for me is, you know, I'm going to continue to react to who I want to react to. I appreciate you guys if you're listening to me. If you don't agree with my viewpoints, for sure, comment. You know, I don't expect everybody to agree. But if you're going to attack me and just give hateful, vile comments, I can't stop you from doing that, but I'm not going to go back and forth with you guys, okay, and try and justify my Christianity or why I think what I do. I'm not going to do it, right? It's just too much of a drain. Phone beeping, sorry. Too much of a drain on me. There's no point to it anyway. You guys aren't going to be persuaded. And, yeah, I don't know. That's all I got to say. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Please stay open-minded. I hope it doesn't stress you guys out too much if you're triggered by Christianity or some of my geopolitical views. Take it for what it is, man. It's a reaction. Okay? Thank you for your support, and God bless all of you.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Hope you guys have been doing great. Yeah, I woke up this morning, and it's kind of early. I get up early every morning, but woke up this morning, and it looks like we're at war with Iran. So, anyway, got my adrenaline up a little bit, watched a little bit of that, and then just thought, hey, let's go ahead and shoot a couple videos here. So I've been wanting to jump back into Ren. I watched a few of them. I watched that Jenny and Screech and Violet Tales. I've got those posted out there. If you haven't seen them, go check them out. So Ren's such a unique artist. I hadn't been exposed to him. And it's been a little bit of a wild ride with that guy. I mean, he's pretty intense. A lot of skill, but he is different, no doubt about it. Also, you guys as a fan group for Ren, the Renegades, big thank you to you all. You've been super supportive of my channel. I'm a small channel, just started in January. Really didn't start it as a reaction channel. Was just shooting some outdoor type footage. I'm a hunter and an outdoorsman, so, you know, duck decoys, and you might be able to see a swan back there. I carved decoys and got a decoy shop out back. I'm going to be out there today shooting another video for carving, but collect decoys. You know, I'm a bow hunter, rifle hunter, so, you know, that kind of stuff. Firearms, I'm a gun nut, so I really started doing that. And Faithful American, you know, the reason it's Faithful American is, you know, the faith part, you know, that's the biggest part of my life. Coming out of a difficult period of my life, and my faith is strong, and I'm in the Word every day, and the Lord's done wonders for me. So started the channel just as a way to maybe spread a little bit of the Word, actually. I mean, that was the intent of the channel. You know, I'm not a preacher, I'm not a pastor, I don't know the Bible front to back. You know, I'm on my own journey here, and but it's done wonders, like I said. So if I can put out a little piece of scripture at the end of my videos, maybe help somebody out, that's really the intent. So that's how I started this channel. But I do love reaction videos, watched them for years, or maybe not years, maybe a year or so, but never thought I'd make them, but here we are. So, okay, did a few Ren. Now the comments from you guys, man, let me talk about the Renegades for a minute. Super supportive of the channel. Like I said, hundreds and hundreds of you guys subscribe. So just, I can't thank you enough for that. I think that helps my algorithm, gets the message out. That's what I'm trying to do. And also have some fun, man. Just have some fun, you know. Everything in life doesn't have to be so serious. But, you know, a lot of these lyrics, though, and these reactions, they are serious, right? A lot of the best artists are pretty deep, and they have some pretty engaging content. But anyway, you guys as a fan base, super supportive, but really diverse. So, you know, when I do Tom McDonald videos, I'd say 90% of them align with, you know, my school of thought, my view of the world, if you will. Yeah, and I haven't done too many reactions, so then I went into Ren. And you guys are super diverse in your thoughts and your views on life. What do I mean by that? You know, there's a percentage of you that are Christian like me, and I get some supportive comments. There's a very large portion of you guys that are, I don't know if I use the word spiritual, that's the word you guys use a lot in the comments, is you're more spiritual, you don't really align with a particular religion, which is okay, no problem with that, man. Everybody's on their own journey. Yeah, so there's a large portion of you guys there, and then there's a pretty substantial portion that are atheists, okay, and say that you're atheists. It's not me saying it, I mean, you guys say it in the comments. Which again, hey, to each their own, you know. It's your own journey, it's your own experience, and yeah, you believe what you want to believe. Or don't believe in what you don't want to believe. But, and all that's good, man, but that's very unique, you know, to find such a wide variety of viewpoints following one individual, you know. So maybe that just speaks to what kind of an artist he is. So, you know, I don't know him that well yet. Clearly he's talented musically, lyrically, and I'm going to keep this journey going. So you guys, yeah, you guys gave me a recommendation, a lot of you, to jump into the money game. So I guess that's a 3-part series. So that's what I'm going to do this morning. I'm going to start the money game series. And we'll do that here in a second. So if you've subscribed, I appreciate it. If you haven't, man, why don't you go ahead and do it. Check out some of my stuff. Maybe you like it. Even some of the stuff is not reactions, man. It's I got a couple interesting hobbies. At least I think they are. And maybe you will too. Go check those out. And occasionally I get into some political debate. I can't help myself. I do have strong viewpoints on the world. That'll come out in my reactions if they haven't already. I'm sure it probably already has. But, you know, I'm going to be outspoken just like everybody else. You know, this is my reaction, and you're going to get, you know, what I think on these reactions. That's what I promise. That's what I have to offer. Outside of that, it's just listening to the same song over and over again. So many of you guys said, hey, you do you, don't worry about it, don't apologize, just do your reaction. That's what we're tuned in for, so that's what you're going to get. What else before we get started? I don't know. Lighting, you know, I'm a semi-professional. Let's say I'm a semi-professional reactor. Brand new at the game. You can see I don't have my lighting down. I'm in my living room here. Trying to figure it out. I'll try and do better and get some better lighting, but you know, with this face here, maybe you guys are better off with a little bit of less lighting. Maybe that's the case. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna leave these glasses on because without them I can't see. All right, so we're gonna do Ren money game. Excited about this. Let's see what he's talking about. Money. Back on that guitar, man.
It's a strange time we're living in. War can put fear in. Hierarchy parties, they make us feel inferior. Read one straight parliament in theories. Devils walk among us, they fit the criteria. Eerie theory, strife, fearing, weary-minded men when we're clearly living in dictatorships. Nearly blinded by illusions to choose who's fooling who. A ball chained to your shoes on pain. It's a crying shame. The pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame that makes greed a game that lets this whole war burn.
What are we doing here, Ren? What's going on here, brother? Okay, well, I mean, he don't take a day off. I mean, every one of his songs that I've listened to, man, have had some pretty intense stuff going on. So we're not gonna change that on this one. So yeah, okay, it looks like he's talking about, he's pretty clear in his lyrics, right? Greed, money, and what it does to people, and as the whole world turns, the whole world burns. He's talking about corruption in politics, and man, all that is true. No doubt about that. Can't argue with him there. Let's see what else he's got to say.
Our own wealth lights a flame that makes greed a game that lets this whole war burn. As the world turns, the whole world burns. But money was invented for trade, but now those bits of paper twist hearts, make slaves, turns a saint into a sinner, a child into a killer. His finger on the trigger of a money game. Oh, rain, 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 rain. A storm it comes our way, and those who rise to distorted lives.
Man, I like it when he sings almost as much as I like it when he's rapping, to be honest. He's got a good voice. He's not a fan of money. I wonder what he does with his money. I'm sure he's got a little bit of it. Let's see.
Subway, and those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we like to point the blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game. Stop.
Yeah, we're part of the money game, no doubt about that. But what are you going to do? I mean, what's the alternative? That's been since the beginning of time. It's like he said, I think in a few lyrics ago, was, money was made for trade. Yeah, I mean, you got to have something to trade, right? Something has value so you can acquire goods and services. So, you know, the greed part, I'm sure that's nothing new either, man. That's the way it's going to be, right? So greed's one of the deadly sins. And that's been around since the beginning of time. It's going to be around till the end of time. You know, you're not going to change that. It's not going to change, right? So that's, again, man, personal choice. You know, we all have free will here. So you can let money dominate your life or what. Luckily, that's never been the case with me, although I can tell you, I do like things that money affords, you know. So I've never been one trying to just gather and make as much money and, you know, I don't know. That's never been a driver for me, but I do like some stuff, and I like doing some things and letting free. All right, let's keep going here. Trying to hit the space bar too, guys. You guys told me to
Stop.
to do. Boy, that guy's a little nervous. Be nice, Ren. Be nice. Boy, that guy is playing that guitar with a hood and a rope around his neck and getting beat down by a Ren. I'm trying to learn the guitar, man, and that guy sounds better than I do. You know. Maybe I need a little more pressure. What's Ren getting ready to do? Rubber gloves are never a good scene. Take it easy, Ren. Take it easy.
This old money game.
No fingerprints. Come on, Ren. Calm down, Ren. Calm down, buddy.
Dear Mr. President, it's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support these ideas to keep us separate, when they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets. That's hate badly through gritted teeth. That's my right to hate. That's freedom of speech. But when did freedom become a reason to hate? A way to justify a racist slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom, cause us in the West,
Yeah, no doubt about that, man. There's a lot of people abuse that freedom of speech. I mean, no offense, guys, but in Britain, I've made the comment before, and you guys light me up in the channel, but you can light me up all you want. You guys don't have the same freedom of speech. You just don't, okay? So some of you text me and say, hey, you're listening to propaganda. No, sorry. You got people getting locked up on a daily basis for making hate speech, social media posts. You guys got a problem when you fly your flag, okay? So, it's not propaganda, man. I can see it with my own eyes, you know. So you guys may not want to admit it, and you point at the United States. Hey, no doubt, we got as many or more problems than you do. I'm not saying that, but we do have freedom of speech. And what he's talking about there, I don't know if he's talking about us, but I'm reacting to it. Levi, go lay down, buddy. There's not enough room for you here, buddy. Go lay down. Yeah, what was I saying? Daggone, Levi, breaking my train of thought. That's not hard to do. But yeah, I mean, we've got too much freedom of speech, maybe, you could argue, because he was talking about freedom of speech is like a green card to give out hateful comments and hate speech. And that's what we have here. People hide behind it. And I'm talking about Jews, people persecuting Jews and being hateful to Jews specifically in the United States, okay? And that's not okay, but we've got the left is allowing it, and the media turns a blind eye to it, okay? That's the best example we have here. In the colleges, universities, and just on the street. So people hiding behind free speech.
by a racist slur or insult we make. There's an irony in freedom, cause us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered the murdered like savages, colonized all of the rest. That's called hypocrisy. Preach a certain value that you never keep yourselves. Your country was in flames, you denigrate yourselves in a second. Still you spit your venom, demonizing immigrants when really you're the immigrant, cause all of us are immigrants or descended from immigrants.
I don't know. Here we go, renegades. So here come the comments, man. But, you know, I like him as an artist, but if he says something, I got to comment, I'm going to comment, right? I'm not going to shy away. So let's talk about immigrants for a minute. You know, he says, yeah, we're all immigrants, and why do we demonize immigrants? I'll tell you right now, I am a conservative. I'm on the right. I'm a Republican, okay? And I'm proud of it because it's common sense. And it's values, and it's our, you know, it's been our historical way of life, the things that I align with, okay? So I'm not down with the craziness that goes on right now. So let's talk about immigrants. 99.9% of people in America that I know, and not just that I know, period. I mean, you go out and talk to any of them, nobody has an issue with immigration. Legal immigration. We don't have a problem with it. Okay, and in the U.S., we allow over 1 million a year legally. No problem with it, okay? Legally. That means you get in line, you fill out the paperwork, you learn about the country, you make sure you can add value, you're committed to assimilate, and that's the big part, assimilation, okay? We don't need a bunch of people in this country that don't give a damn about the United States. We don't need that. We don't have to have that. There's no logic to allow that. Why would we allow that? Why would you just open your borders and just let anybody that wants to come here because they have a terrible life where they are? I'm sorry that your life sucks where you are, okay? Maybe work together and make it suck less. And that's going to sound a little bit cold, but what happens if 2 billion people just want to pour into the U.S. and there are more than 2 billion people that would like to pour in here? We have no country left, man. There's no system in the world that can sustain that, okay? You can't sustain it. It's crazy. And half this country, I don't know whether it's their goal to just destroy our system, which I believe it is, or some of them are just good-hearted and feel bad for people, but it's misplaced if you're just so damn naive that you just want to feel good and let anybody in here. It ain't going to work, okay? We can't afford it. There's not enough services. And you can see that in our communities. We got communities that are basically destroyed. They're not being helped, okay? So anyway, legal immigration, no problem. Illegal immigration, big problem, okay? So it says all of us are immigrants or descended from immigrants. Yeah, we did. But again, here in the U.S., okay, the Irish, the Italians, the Europeans, wherever they came from, what's the big difference? They came in the right way. They assimilated. They learned the language. They raised their hand. They swore an oath to love the country and contribute to the country. They're proud of the flag. They call themselves Americans, these people. They built our cities. They did all that. Yes, they were immigrants, but they were not illegal immigrants. They jumped over damn fences and just said, to the rule of law in this country. So, you know, enough of the moral equivalency, okay? Enough of that crap. Not everything is the same, man. You can't take the word legal and illegal and act like it doesn't exist, okay? So, yeah, we're descended from immigrants, but there's a difference. Let's roll.
You're the immigrant, cause all of us are immigrants or descended from immigrants. Irony is imminent. I'll shed the light on immigrants. America was colonized by Britain. Britain, it was colonized by Rome. And also colonized by the Saxons. They were German, by the way. You know how people throw shade upon the Germans because of history's pain, and yet we made the same mistakes all again. Demonize a whole people, Jewish or Muslim, the same and the same. Old city.
Woo, boy, this one's gonna be hot. What did he just say? Hold on there.
Colonized by the Saxons. They were German, by the way. You know how people throw shade upon the
Germans. Let's deal with that one first. I mean, yeah, throw shade upon the Germans. I work for Germans. I like Germans. My boss is German. A couple of the best people I've ever known in my life are German, you know, so I got no problem with Germans. But, you know, history's history, right? it is what it is, you know, and you got to own it. That doesn't mean Germans today are like that. I don't feel that way at all, right? So I don't know about throwing shade on it. I mean, you know, there's a whole bunch of Americans work where I do, man, and I don't hear anybody talking about Germans. And we had a couple world wars and everything else, but I mean, that's in the past. That doesn't, you know, we don't hang that tag around somebody forever. So I'm not throwing shade on the Germans. I love Germans.
Germans because of history's pain, and yet we made the same mistakes all again. Demonize a whole people, Jewish or Muslim, the same and the same. Oh,
this is the hot one. So this is where I paused it, right? So demonize Jews and Muslims the same. It's not the same. Sorry, guys. Here we go again. So I don't know. The Christians that are listening, you'll probably agree with me. The agnostics, probably not. And the atheists, I don't know why you care about what I'm getting ready to say, but for hundreds and thousands of years, and it has not changed, it's a religion, man. It's just like he said, Jewish and Muslim. It's religious. Okay? So the Jews live every day being bombed and threatened, and the only thing that saves their rear end is the fact that they are strong. It's 9 million people, man. They're strong, and they're willing to fight. Okay, and they're a democracy. Why are they strong? Because they're a democracy. Muslims are not democracy. Point to any Muslim country, man. You know, do Jewish people suppress women's rights? No. Does the Old Testament say that if people don't agree with your religion, you should do jihad and kill them? No. And y'all get excited about that. Don't act like it's not true, because I got a Quran sitting right over there, and I will whip it out and read it to you, okay? So, yeah, there's violence in the Bible. I get it. I'm going to go on here for a minute. If you don't like it, then you can fast forward. But there's all kinds of violence in the Bible, but there's nothing in the Bible that says, hey, if somebody doesn't believe with your religion, your goal is that you're supposed to dominate them, make them change over, and if they don't, you're okay to kill them. Matter of fact, you should kill them. And that's what it says. So when I hear Islam a religion of peace, it's not a religion of peace. Now, does that mean all Muslims are violent and jihadists? No, it doesn't. But those Muslims are good people who choose to not live by the letter of that religion. Because it's in there, man. It's in there, not just one place. It's all over the place. And it's not just me saying it. It doesn't take long. You can go out there and find Islamic leaders, even here in the United States, in Texas and Michigan and other places, right, that are very open. And they're saying that's their goal, to dominate and take over and shove out all religions. And they're doing a pretty daggone good job of it here, slowly. It's not so slow in Britain, or France, or Sweden, or some other places that, back to the immigration thing, you guys let too many of them in, okay, because you're run by liberals that feel good about just letting anything go, except for law and order. And you guys are paying a price, and you're going to pay a big price. And we're starting to pay it now, and if we don't change something, we're going to pay it here. And this is not Islamophobia. I could give a damn less if you're a Muslim, a Jew, a Buddhist. I don't care, man. Freedom of religion, that's the First Amendment. Religion, it talks about that before freedom of speech. Don't care, man. But what I do care is if your religion says, hey, by the way, if you're a Christian, the goal is to kill you, I got a problem with that, okay? And I'm going to say it, and we need to act against it. That's not okay. That's not just religion, okay? That's a threat to all of our way of life. So, you know, the Muslim-Jewish equivalency, the same, nah, I'm not down with that, man. It's just not a fact. It's not a fact. Muslim communities go there. How do they treat gays? You know, there's a lot of liberals listening to this video right now because I got a lot of comments from you guys, okay? So, okay, you guys are liberals. You're leftist. Rand, I believe, is too, from what I understand. So, okay, you guys push gay rights and transgender and LB, whatever it is, okay? Y'all big supporters of that. How's that work out in Muslim communities? They kill them. Okay, you guys used to be for women's rights, but now you're not because there's no such thing as a woman. Nobody can talk about what a woman is. You can't even define a woman on the left. So if you do still care about women, how's that work out for women in Muslim communities? They don't have any rights. So I don't get it, man. But you guys support on the left the Muslims against the Jews, okay? There's a big problem with anti-Semitism, man. It's always been around, and it's really strong right now, and people are out of the closet. So I got a little fired up when I hear that, man. So it's just not
Stays
true.
on the game, demonize the whole people, Jewish or Muslim, the same when the same. Old situations play on repeat, the same old TV shows repeat. Yeah, we worship the bleak, our opinions are our own and we follow like sheep. There's no left, there's no right, in the middle we sleep. Rain, 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 the storm.
Shouldn't be like sheep, man. Listen to me, right? I'm putting it out there, okay? I'm putting it out there. I used to never do that. But I'm not going with the flow. When you're like sheep, that's where we get to where we're at right now. We just let everything go. Yeah. Crazy's fine. Let's just do whatever you want. Make you feel good. Let's not worry about, all the people that have fought and died before us and established systems of, and I am for capitalism. I mean, if you're against capitalism, what is your logic there, man? That's not common sense. I go back to common sense. Capitalism. Capitalism is just improve the way of life for people more than anything else. Period. It's easy to complain about stuff and like he was saying, blame. Oh yeah, this person's so rich, and you hate billionaires. Why would you hate billionaires? They're billionaires for a reason, because they created products that improve the way of life, things people want, create jobs. You think that $1 billion is just sitting somewhere? Hell no, they invested back in other companies that produces more money, that improves the way of life for people. Come on, guys. Stop just hating, man. It's just, you're not putting enough thought into it. Think. Stop listening to the crap that just comes out of the left. Stop listening to it. Think. You think socialism is better than capitalism? You think communism is better than socialism? Name me one example of a socialist or a communist country that has a better way of life than the United States. Why the hell is everybody trying to come here? It's capitalism. And it was founded on Judeo-Christian belief systems that have morals. Boy, this is a hot one. This is a hell of a way to start the morning, man. But okay. I mean, he's an artist, man. He's putting it out there. So anyway, don't be a sheep. Speak up. People like me have been quiet for too long, man. I'm done with that, because it's not helping us, man. We're going down the wrong path. So, my opinion.
In the middle we sleep. Rain, 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 the storm it comes our way. And those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins. But we like to point the blame.
Hey, put that back down.
It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game.
Oh, come on, Rick. Take it easy, Rand. Take it easy now. What are you doing there, Rand? What are you doing?
That's all money can.
What did he do? Motivate him to play a little?
That's all money can.
Did that motivate him to play better? Second thought, maybe I don't need a little bit more pressure on the guitar, because I don't need that. Poor guy. Got them eyeballs drawn on there. Okay, all right. Thought he was choking him out. Oh, hold on there. Hit the wrong button. Come on, Rand, you trying to drive me crazy. Don't do it, Rand. Walk away, baby. Money game 2. Come on. Money game 2. Leave him alone. Take a deep breath. He's a dramatic fella. It's gonna pour it on top of his head. Let's see. Don't do that, guys. Don't give up. Don't give up. Boy, I tell you what, he's a dramatic guy, boy. I can see why people follow him, man. He's got some edge to him. Boy, that was a different kind of video. Some of you guys told me, hey, check out Money Game. You know, if you want to just, it's relaxed, it's not as serious. I don't know what you guys talking about, man. I about lost my mind in there. Okay, let's keep going here because this video is long. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I had a piece of scripture picked out here. Jeremiah. Yeah, so, okay, I didn't know what the lyric's going to be, but it was called Money Game. And maybe it's not really about that, right? So, you know, I woke up this morning in Iran, you know, we're in there bombing Iran and going to do a regime change. And I know people got a lot of opinions on that too, but as a Christian and as an American, I got no problem with it, right? Because these guys, 47 years, death to America, they've been putting their money where their mouth is. They've blown legs and arms off thousands of our men and women, murdered a lot of Americans, #1 state sponsor of terrorism around the world. You can look at the attacks from 1979 till now. It's just not up for debate. People can stick their head in the sand and, you know, maybe I'm a little bit hawkish, but it is what it is. They've killed anywhere from 32 to 50,000 of their own people that are fighting for their own freedom, that want democracy. Maybe democracy, I don't know, or at least some form of freedom and not a tyrannical government. 32 to 50,000 of them just gunned them down in the streets. That's what happens when you don't have a Second Amendment. That ain't going to happen here. They might try, but it ain't going to happen. That'll last about 10 minutes here in the United States. Okay, but anyway, as a Christian, man, I'm not good with all them people being slaughtered for no reason. As an American, get that regime off the table. Take them off the chessboard. Got no problem with that. Okay? Because why? Again, what I was talking about. They're hardcore Islamists. Try and negotiate with them all you want. They're not negotiating, okay? They're not going to negotiate because it's a religion. It's their beliefs. We have to die. They're not going to change their ways. And they're very clear about it. It's not me. They will tell you that. And they've told our government that. They've told the world that. So I got no problem. Get them out of here. So for the Iranian people, man, maybe this one strikes a little bit. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans for welfare and not for calamity, to give you a future and a hope. All right, so I've been saying prayers for the Iranian people. God bless all you all. I hope you stay safe until we can get those assholes out of there. And then, yeah, hopefully you can establish something that's, you know, more peaceful and gives you guys a chance at freedom and a good way of life. What a morning. All right, guys, thanks for checking out the video. If you made it to the end, God bless you. And even if you didn't, the ones that you left, God bless all y'all, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.